Welcome back. President Biden and Xi Jinping headed to San Francisco today ahead of their high-stakes meeting tomorrow, where they are set to announce an agreement to crack down on fentanyl, we are told. Bloomberg is reporting, quote, China would go after chemical companies to stem the flow of both fentanyl and the source material used to make the deadly synthetic opioid. In return, the Biden administration would lift restrictions on China's Forensic Police Institute. Joining me right now is Tennessee Senator, Senate Judiciary Committee member, and Senate Veterans Affairs Committee member Marsha Blackburn. Senator, it's great to see you this morning. You've done such great work on China. I want to get your take on this deal that we're being told is being negotiated. Are you expecting China to keep its promise to stop fentanyl flowing into America?
No, and President Biden should say, once you have stopped the flow of fentanyl into Mexico, and once you've cut your ties with the cartels, then we will sit down and talk. And oh, by the way, you know, all of those quotas that you are yet to meet on ag exports from the United States, why don't you meet those? Because right now we have a $1 trillion trade imbalance in China's favor. And Maria, what you have to do is draw a line with them. Our president should not be sitting down with him. China is bullying Taiwan and the Pacific Island nations. They're not keeping their end of the bargain on trade. They are killing our people with fentanyl. So have them stop all of this, do what they're supposed to do, and then the president should meet with him, but not until.
This is a great point. This is such a great point that you make. Why would you make a promise and say that you're going to lift sanctions when you don't even expect them to keep their promises? Have they kept any promise? Right? I mean, they signed a trade deal with the Trump administration. They haven't kept those quotas. Have they kept any promise on surveillance? No. We've got a surveillance balloon that he hasn't even discussed.
And COVID. Not to mention COVID. Let's go back to COVID.
That's the big one.
And to the lab. And the spy balloon and what they're doing with TikTok, with pushing all of this pro-Iran and pro-Hamas content onto TikTok. So, Maria, he ought not to sit down with them. They should have to clean up their act first before the President of the United States gives them an audience. And for goodness sakes, don't get into trading this for that. These are things that they know they have done wrong and they need to answer for.
I think you make a great point, and that is exactly what he should have done. I agree with you. But look, what about this agreement recently that China made to talk about nuclear arms control? I feel like this is one of the most important reasons that this administration keeps going back to China, because China cut the U.S. military off in terms of communicating, right? And the Biden administration is trying to open it up again because of the nuclear arms potential of China, correct?
And Maria, what we know is that China, with the other members of the Axis of Evil, and you look at China's participation with Iran, and what is Iran trying to do? They're trying to enrich uranium just below the level that is necessary for a nuclear warhead. You look at what North Korea is doing and the way they are working in rockets and the way they're trying to do research into hypersonics. And there again, what you see from the United States is an approach of appeasement. It is the wrong footing. The United States needs to show up with strength, and they need to send this message that we're not going to allow this type of activity that harms us, our people, and our allies.
Yeah, and the espionage has certainly picked up under the Biden administration. Isn't that right? I mean, whether it's TikTok, the surveillance balloon, the police stations, why are they having this expansive espionage program on America?
And indeed, remember that this administration cut off the China initiative, which was what we were using to go after the spies. Yeah. And they had that taken down. So you see this, again, appeasement. And Maria, it is so important to realize, yes, you have the military approach. You also have the economic war that is taking place. You have China trying trying to expand their reach with the axis of evil. You have them banking the work that Iran is doing, manufacturing drones in Russia. You have China trying to put Russians and offering to Russians and to all these nations that they have captured into debt diplomacy, saying, look, we can bank you with the digital yuan.
Yeah.
That gives China control. So on all of these fronts, the Bidens have never put up the stop sign. Not once have they said to China, stop it. And now you have the president saying, welcome Xi Jinping, meet all of our entrepreneurs. But you know what they're going to do? They're going to steal their intellectual property. They're going to reverse engineer their innovations, and they're going to take that innovative component from these guys. I cannot believe Joe Biden is going to sit down with Xi Jinping and offer up something when they will not stop what they are doing to this country and our people. Well,
they're trying to put a floor on the relationship, reestablish military communication, and continue talking. But I don't know what any of this yields us. We'll see. A new report delivered to the president, meanwhile, reportedly reveals how an Iranian-born Pentagon aide was part of a covert campaign to undermine Iran's leading group resisting the Ayatollah. The aide's ties to the Iran Foreign Ministry originally reported back in September before Hamas's attack on Israel. But this person is also maintaining her security clearance and her position. Congress is set to get a special briefing on this today. Senator, your thoughts?
Well, I was on the floor right after we found this information out. I was on the floor of the Senate talking about this. Her security clearance, first of all, should never have been given. But back in September, once her ties to the Iran Experts Initiative was revealed, she should have been put on leave and her clearance should have been pulled. They still, to this day, have not pulled the clearance. And she is there as the chief of staff for the assistant secretary and is looking at this low-intensity conflict. She is all over these issues. Now, the Iran Experts Initiative is something that second-generation Iranians, people born in Iran, in other parts of the world, they were using it to change the impression of the Ayatollah and their regime. And Maria, you cannot serve two different governments, and that is something that is of tremendous concern to me. Where is her allegiance?
Senator, before you go, real quick, illegals in the United States could cost taxpayers $451 billion a year, according to a House GOP report. Just caring for these illegals coming over the border is going to cost American taxpayers $451 billion a year. How are we going to pay for that? Does that mean that the Democrats are going to raise taxes? Senator, you are watching an open border and a dereliction of duty, and yet the Republicans could not even impeach Alejandro Mayorkas yesterday.
It was astounding to me that they did not move forward with that impeachment. The border, what is happening there, the fact that there are terrorists coming into this country, the fact that Christopher Wray, the FBI director, says it's not an issue of if, but when we have another terrorist attack, and this guy sits there and lies to you and says the border is closed. I mean, he deserves to be impeached and removed.
Well, some people didn't vote, so they wouldn't be part of the fight, I guess. Senator, it's good to see you. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Senator Marsha Blackburn this morning.